The other night, after about a 5-hour judiciary committee hearing, and yes, they can last 5 hours this time of year, about as long as this debate, I think, I decided to call my mom on the way home. And I was telling her about what was going on at the Capitol, and I told her about this bill, and she said, "Well, Brian, that's pretty simple, isn't it?" And my mom knows I'm a lawyer, and so nothing's ever simple. And I said, "Mom, it's a little bit more complicated than that." I won't go on to tell you the advice she gave me after that. But I can tell you this, when you get away from this bubble of this building, you get away from the signs out there, you get away from the emails, get away from the phone calls, you get away from the debates that we have here, maybe this issue is not really as complicated as we think. And there are two moments for me in the last couple weeks where I confirmed that voting for this bill was the right thing. The first was when 3 activists called me out to the ropes last week, and we had a great discussion. They were very kind people. And we started discussing this. Isn't this what this is really about, is the value of privacy versus the value of life? And so I looked at them and I said, so tell me, do you agree at least with this point? At some point, the value of life outweighs that privacy. At some point, do you at least believe that? And two of them said, yes, I believe that. And they said, to us, it's the 20 weeks, it's the current law. So, okay, that's fair. The third person looked at me and said, no. I said, okay. I said, we're going to have to disagree on that. But then what she said to me is haunted me ever since. She said, do you really want unwanted children? Think about that for a minute. Do we really want these unwanted children, these children we can't afford, children we can't take care of? You know, I don't know about y'all, but what really inspired me to get in politics was to fight for the unwanted, to give a voice to those that can't fight for themselves. That little guy, that's how I was raised. That's what makes me get up here every day, to fight for those unwanted people. And you really think about it, it's the foundation of our Constitution is standing up for the unwanted, those without a voice. It's the foundation of the faith that we all share, fighting for the unwanted, standing up for them. The second moment for me was when I got this book that's on your desk. And if you haven't looked at it yet today, please take a look at it. One of the great things, and also maybe the bad things about technology, is you can now really see what's going on with a pregnancy. You can see in that womb. And we start looking at valuing, as the courts have said, privacy versus life. I look at these pictures. Please look at these pictures. Look at 20 weeks. Then flip the page back. Look at 18 weeks. Look at 16 weeks. Look at 14 weeks. Go on back from there, all the way down to the beginning. And you tell me that the child at 18 weeks is less valuable than the child at 16 weeks. 14 weeks is less valuable. 12 weeks is less valuable. Go back to 20. Is that child more valuable than the one at 18? I can't answer those questions, because to me, they're all a child. And so all I can do is go back to where we say life ends with the beating of a heart. That's the only place I know that I can draw this line logically. And as I was thinking about this vote today, you know, history a lot of times will tell us that one side of this issue is going to be proven right, one side is going to be proven wrong. Maybe history will say that both had some merit. I don't know where we'll go with this in history. But if I vote yes, and I'm right, the numbers say we may have hundreds or thousands more lives in our state every single year, more babies in our state. If I vote yes, and I'm wrong, and this was a wrong decision, statistics say this bill passes, we'll have hundreds, maybe thousands more lives in our state every year. I can live with that decision either way. Thank you, Mr. President. I'll yield the will.
Thank you, Senator. The chair recognizes the senator from the 43rd to speak to the measure.